Hi, I think we're live.
Did you have a clip playing?
Did I have the countdown?
Yeah.
You don't see it? I think it's like delayed.
So there's a 10
I
second, there's
saw
a
it.
10-second delay on on IG. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, as long as it's up, like that's fine. And then it's also on YouTube, but it's still counting down now. So anyway, is everybody ready? Hello,
Yeah. What up? What up?
officially
We in here,
happy.
Stank. It's
We are
working,
in
Stank,
here.
Stank.
Oh, yes, you're excited about the fact that it's working. So am I. Anyway, happy Tuesday. We are so excited to be here. We were out last week. We had a little vacation, and now we're back and ready to get started. And as you know, I am Carolyn. I'm one of your hosts.
I'm Jay Moore. I'm the tip for tat, and she's the tip for tat. We are going tip for tat today, and we got guests that's gonna go tip for tat with us.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know how you guys could beat that intro, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the floor, our special guest today, and let you introduce themselves. We're going to start with Selena.
I'm Selena. I'm the sister of the tat and the tit for tat, or the tit. I don't feel exactly appropriate saying the tit, whatever.
I never call myself that.
What am I supposed to introduce?
She's the tit, not the tat. I'm the tat. She's the tit.
I don't call myself that. Notice I
Well,
never say that.
so we got two tits on here.
You know what? You know what? Act like you have some sense today. Anyway.
Yes. No, I got it. I'm 33. I live in DC or the DMV area, and I'm getting a new last name this year. So that's what
Oh, yes.
Congrats.
Off the market. And then we have Eddie.
And I'm the residential married guy with 3 kids. I'm out here in Atlanta. So this is a lot of fun, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and we are so happy to be here. That we missed you guys last week, and we are going to get. Yeah, we did. I did, but I actually needed a break. I was at the Final Four, and it was wonderful. Woo! However, I was sad that my team, Kentucky, was not there. And then after that, there was a whole dramatic mess, as you guys know, if you keep up with sports with the state of Kentucky. But we're not going to get into that now because I got to keep the vibes positive.
Okay? You went from a wildcat to a hog, baby.
You know what? Don't do that. You're always doing too much, and it's way too early for that. How about that? We haven't even got started yet, and you're already doing too much. Anyway, how does simp culture impact dating? That's the topic tonight. And I'm really excited to get into this topic because I feel like there's so many angles we can take in terms of simp culture. But the first thing I really want to do is just start off with what does that actually mean? Because some people don't know. You know, some people have heard the word simp. Maybe someone uses another word that means the same thing, but not that word. So Jay, I'm gonna give it to you because this is kind of like something that you really wanted to talk about. And so how do you define simp culture? And I'm gonna tell you what I Googled and came up with.
Simp culture to me is sucker culture, where guys are buying their way into women's lives.
Okay,
you're paying for the pussy. Listen, my man Jadakiss said it in one of, the famous poet Jadakiss said, I ain't got to pay for the pussy, I'll score for free. Here's what I'm saying, right? Why are you buying something that if you actually had some sort of language, some sort of anything, you could get for free? And what I mean by free, and nothing's free. What I mean by that is that if you just want to pay for it, then just go get a prostitute.
I think that's valid. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that.
No,
Eddie,
there's nothing wrong with getting a prostitute, because what do you pay a prostitute to do? You don't pay her to fuck, you pay her to leave. That's how most of these dudes is treating chicks. They're paying them to leave. That's why they don't stick around.
That's interesting. Eddie, would you agree with that?
Man, you know, I guess I'm dated really, because I remember hearing simp back when simp always meant for me, like it meant like a dude that was gullible, a dude that had no game at all, that his only game was buying everybody drinks, taking girls shopping. And usually sometimes in the context that I always heard a simp was somebody that was actually a nice guy, like a really nice guy. Like the guy you would overhear your girlfriends talk about, be like, yo, what you think of that dude Sean? Is everything working out? And Carolyn would be like, oh, he's cool, but he a little bit of a simp, like brand new, kind of not hip to it. that, and I always felt like simps were guys that were really trying to like get in to do all the good things that every girl wants, but they got friend zoned, and they just now they kind of they're like in paternal, middle land, no man's land when they trying to date because they just been friend zoned by everybody because they're too nice, they're too geeky, they don't have enough edge, and all they can do is be good for like for like
Money.
resources. Yeah, money. Like he'll pay a bill.
Okay. This
So
is
that was
interesting.
what every time I heard about simp, that's who I knew somebody was being taken advantage. Like, oh yeah, I'm taking advantage. I got a guy, he'll pay my bills, he'll take me shopping, and all this time he thinks he's trying to earn his way into something that he'll probably not get. So that
Okay.
maybe I'm outdated, you know.
Well, I think that's what the dialogue is for. I definitely want to point to Selena and give her an opportunity to share her thoughts on the subject. Do you agree with the men? Do you feeling like a different kind of angle as a female?
No, I think they're spot on. I always understood simp to mean, trick is probably more the word my friends would use. Those would be interchangeable. So yes, by definition, that is what I've understood a simp to be.
So to use the word tricking, right? I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Is it tricking if you got it?
I mean, yeah, it's still tricking because if you gotta pay for it, it's tricking. Even if you do got it, it's still tricking.
Well, I mean, okay, let me read the definition that I came up with my online research because I think that goes into a little bit more. So it says simps show unwarranted devotion and affection without receiving the same level of attention and devotion back.
Is that from the Urban Dictionary?
Yes. Yes. You should know. You're like the human Urban Dictionary. You had to tell me all the little slang terms last time. So
yes,
what do y'all think about that?
Okay. Definition.
Okay, so then the question was posed.
Politically correct urban definition.
Okay. So if the question is posed, is it tricking if you got it? And you guys all agree that yes, it's still tricking?
Yes.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, there's a gray area to it. At the end of the day, I think, for me, I always when I have like a female friend of mine that complains about how there's no good men out there, I can always name a couple that they could work with, but they consider them simps, guys that are just, like I said, not edgy enough, not cool enough. They probably lived a very protected, sheltered life, so they don't, they're not hip to nothing. So, because most girls want an edgy dude. They want a guy that I heard somebody say recently that a real man has to trade innocence for experience because the world does not respect innocent man. So a lot of times a simp is somebody who's considered an innocent man. Like he grew up with two parents. He has a great relationship with his siblings. He lives in Great Falls, if y'all know what that is.
He went to private school.
Private school, Clarence. They got nice parents. You know what I mean? Like they kind of
wow.
in his FaceTime. That's a simp.
But why is that?
You can always call Clarence to for anything. Oh, I'll call Clarence. But you're really chasing Jay because Jay ain't chasing you. But you can always. That's a simp. That's how I always grew up knowing what a simp was.
Okay.
Well, a simp comes from a middle class family.
Yeah, but what I call kind of bad for the game is like a simp ends up literally, eventually, I hate to say it, turning into a pimp because he sees that all the girls keep dogging him. They use them. They want Jay. They don't want Clarence. And he knows he got to go out there and not be so innocent. He might get himself on some fake trouble. He might play him a couple girls that's not even natural to what he does, but he knows that like all the girls that he wanted didn't want him. And they, what every simp does, they start to analyze all the girls that all the guys that the girls want. And they checking for the bad guy, the guy with warrants, the guy with tats on his neck, the guy that he don't have the greatest credit. So
basically women turn guys into simps sometimes.
So the simps end up turning into pimps eventually, and it's like that movie Hitch with Will Smith. Remember, he ended up when you find out his backstory, he was actually a nice guy, and he got hurt by somebody, and that he became a pimp, literally.
I heard
I feel like
A
that's
contract.
every man's excuse, but it's called, fellas, it's called just healing. That you know, you don't have to put it on women. If you get hurt, you can take some time and just heal. It doesn't
Hey,
have
Pot.
to
Hey, Pot.
come
Hey,
back on
Pot.
us.
Let me throw
Uh-oh.
something out there, Pot.
Uh-oh.
Pot.
Where the kettle at?
First of all, women have way bigger egos. It's nice of you to be able to say that, considering that you've never been rejected before.
I've experienced rejection at points in life.
Yeah, all right. Like, for real. And if you can count on one
I've
hand,
experienced some form of rejection. Yeah.
sure, I'm sure, some form.
Yeah.
If you can count on one hand the number of times you've been rejected in your life, listen, men can literally get rejected 3-4 times a day.
Well, that's because you're pursuing, as you should be. Women aren't pursuing.
Right.
So if you're going out there, you don't get the option to reject. Y'all are
so
getting
you don't get to say, men, it's called healing.
Well, it is. If it hurts you that badly to where you got to change who you are, you got to start looking at other men and the results they're getting. I feel like that's called. You don't need to look at anybody else. You need to stay true to who you are, but you need to get comfortable with who you are.
That's where the innocence parts.
Hold on,
where
Eddie.
you
I'm gonna
create
hit
the
him with
innocence for experience.
Y'all don't even get rejected, and y'all don't even accept yourselves for who you are.
Why don't we? I think when we heal, we do. I mean, anybody that's healed,
everybody needs healing.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that y'all change up your whole look to even get the looks you want from a man says to me, off the break, you're not even like. Let's not talk about what we should accept if you don't even accept yourselves.
What when you say change up your looks, what do you mean?
Yeah,
because I mean
BBLs, the stuffalophagus eyelashes. You know what I'm saying?
Is that a tarantula? Is that a tarantula?
Why is there an assumption that women are doing that to get more attention from
because
men?
y'all have said out loud men like that.
I mean, but whenever I talk to men, they don't like that. They hate those big ugly lashes, as they should.
No. So you make it make sense.
Well, I mean, unpopular opinion, I believe women that go to drastic lengths to change things about themselves physically is at their deepest core to impress other women. But I feel like that's a different conversation.
No, they're doing it because they think men out there like it. And there are some men out there that like that. The BBLs and the blah, 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 and the blah, blah, blah. But let's keep it for real. Like, if y'all were so healed, you wouldn't do such a thing.
Well, some women aren't healed and some women are healed. I just think anybody, man or woman, if you are healed, then you are comfortable with who you are. You're good with you.
Well, my point is that y'all don't even get rejected and you're doing stuff because you don't even like yourself. You can't tell us, it's all about healing when we're the ones getting rejected every day.
Well, you still need to heal regardless. If you're not healthy, you need to heal. It doesn't matter if you get rejected 10 times or 1 time. If you're not healthy, if you're not good with you internally, then you need to take some time to step back and heal.
Period. Okay, well, if the pot decides to do this, so will the kettle.
Oh, you know what? I don't understand what the issue is here. I do honestly think that both men and women need to heal, but I want to stay on the subject of simp culture because it sounds from what I've heard that there's a negative connotation that comes with that. And I do believe that. Like Eddie used the word I think you said innocent. And let's just dissect that for a minute. So when a man is innocent, when he's kind, when he's pure, the negative connotation that comes with being a simp is considered weak. Would you guys agree with that?
Did you say when he's poor?
Did I say what?
Did you say when he's poor?
No, I said he's considered weak if he's nice, if he's a good person, internally to his core, if he, treats women with respect. Mm-hmm. And I want to use some celebrity examples of people who in our culture are considered simps by a large majority of people. Okay. Russell Wilson.
Number 1.
No.
Michael B. Jordan. Yes, he is. He is labeled as a simp. Michael B. Jordan labeled as a simp.
Hold on. Let's go
Steve Harvey.
Let's go down and talk about each
Who
one
even
before
check
you go back in
Steve
time.
Harvey?
Nobody but Jay called him a simp before. That's why I brought him up.
Who?
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a sucker. But back
I
to
mean, that's what
let,
I'm
let me
saying.
let me ask the ladies a question, just a quick question. And I know this is real personal, but how many men have y'all used with false pretenses? Like how many times have you had like I call a fake relationship with a dude that you knew was checking for you, knew he was coming for you, but you used just for like how you what did Jerome Brown what did Jerome Brown say?
Selena got the fake. She got like 3.
Hey, don't be coming for my sister.
I mean, I'm not trying to judge nobody. We left the gavels at home, right? So my point is, like, that's a simp. That dude that is like is probably on the verge of falling in love with you, but you'll never ever be with him, but you still entertain him. He's still that dude you keep on for anything you need because he's gonna be there, and the whole time he's not the dude you want for your own personal reasons. A lot of times, generally, the reason is because he's not edgy enough for you. He's not cool enough, fun enough for you. But all the other boxes, educated, money, good family, whatever, may even believe in God, all these other things, whatever. I want that
Selena
other guy.
laughs because she knows she doesn't.
I'm laughing at you. No. I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing because I actually have an argument to this because at the end of the day, the man sets the tone. If you come out the gate, I'm spending, I'm doing this and that. What do you need? And that's all you're teaching me that's your value. That's your purpose in my life. But you taught me that.
So have you ever used anybody?
I love it.
Like she mistreated me. I mean, you set the tone. You said what I'm to expect.
So you're saying you've never used anybody?
Absolutely, I have. Yeah.
Okay, but let's not put it on a man to know how. A lot of times, I'm not saying you, but a lot of women, their relationship with simps. Oh, the boss is in the back. Don't worry about it.
Hey, big boss baby.
The boss is in the back. Don't worry about her. But yeah, a lot of times a girl knows. She can kind of have a relationship with a dude, a friendship. She maybe flirt with him a little bit, kind of lead him on a little bit. Put him on the edge, like, you kind of cute with that shirt on, boom, boom, kind of boost his ego just enough to get her to leverage her part of the relationship. And that other guy's a simp. And a lot of times, yeah, you're right. A dude is supposed to set the tone, but a woman sets the table. The woman can kind of, how many times your mama teach you to never look a guy directly in the eye because he's going to come over there. And my point is that sometimes it starts with a look. Sometimes it starts with a nice little flirty, weird conversation that kind of gets this guy boosted, like, oh, I got a chance, yo, she's checking for me. So then he's buying stuff, taking you shopping, and the whole time you knew, like, bruh, I'm not checking for this guy ever.
Let me piggyback on that real quick before we go back to Russell Wilson. If I see a woman and she looks expensive, you're purposely giving off that. Listen, if you can't afford this Chanel bag, these Jimmy shoes, this good ass weave, you might as well keep it pushing. Now, you might be the type of woman to be like, I don't need you to give me any of these things, but how many women do we know like that? For real.
But so, here's the sneaky part. Here's the sneaky part that I'm hoping they'll talk about. The sneaky part is that a lot of times women keep a simp around because he is a good friend. So a lot of times when they venting about their man or the guy they checking for to the simp, they'll say little slick stuff like, man, if he was just like you, and the simp be like, word.
Do you think that
falling in love, man?
But you guys are actually, it seems like you guys are suggesting that this is like a manipulative thing on the part of the woman, which I completely disagree with. Now, as a woman, I would say, yes, I admit I have used men before. But again, to Selena's point, that's a man who had come and attempted to be interested in me at someone, not a man that I like, let me see, he look like a simp. Let me see what I can go get from him. Let me give him the eye. So he'll come over here.
He held that wad of money to your brain and made you take it, huh?
No, I hate when that happens.
I never took no wad of money. But y'all missing the point of what I'm saying. I don't think that most women are manipulatively saying, oh, he's a simp, let me take advantage of him. I think that women are responding to a man that's showing interest in whatever way that he's showing interest, And to Selena's point, if he's showing interest in a way that says, I can do this, this, and this for you, or let me do this, this, and this for you. And if the woman accepts that, then that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. She didn't go, manipulate him into being that way or doing those things. He wanted to do them because you know what? Instead, like I think that Sims get a bad rep because maybe they're just really nice guys. Like y'all are acting like.
How's Russell Wilson a simp?
I don't think Russell Wilson is a simp. I think that he has a reputation in the Black community as being a simp, which I completely disagree with because he don't do nothing but take care of his kids, love on his wife, take care of another man's son, treats him by all accounts as far as we know and can see, like that's his flesh and blood. So like for him to be considered a simp, that's ridiculous in my opinion, but the fact of the matter is he is considered a simp in the Black community, and I would like to know why.
And I'm gonna keep it all the way above. I'm gonna keep all the way above. Anybody that calls him a simp, run up on him and call him one to his face.
Well, this is my point of view because out here the reason they consider him a simp is because of who she used to be with. She was with Future, who's a bipolar opposite version of what he is. So you go from a street dude to this guy. That's why they consider him a simp. It's not that he is a simp. I think it's just such an extreme like turnaround that Sierra
and Future's a street dude. Okay.
Yeah, a pimp. You can go that far. He's a high valued guy who a lot of girls, one of the hot they just called him the top 3 rapper in the world right now with this whole Drake beef. They said, Future's on that.
He's the guy that got rejected that you talked about earlier as a kid and has a talent, flipped that talent, and now he gets all the girls and he's abusing it.
But why is he? But it's celebrated in the Black community, and that's the part that I want to get into.
It's celebrated.
Being like how Russell Wilson moves is not celebrated in the Black community. Like moving how I ain't never seen a Russell Wilson meme, but I done seen all them toxic ass Future memes all over social media that people share and think are so funny. And it's like, oh, Future's a pimp or Future's this, and he has all of these baby mamas or whatever. Oh, all of Future's baby mamas are bad, blah, blah, blah. Like that's a good thing. And it's not. And that is like the larger concern that our community thinks that way. That like someone like Russell Wilson would be looked upon as lesser than or weak. And, and Future would be, put on a pedestal. That's ridiculous.
The reason why we have a problem with Russell Wilson is because a lot of us can't relate to him. How we came up, the majority of Black people, if you're not from the hood or have some hood story or some fucked up backstory, we can't relate. So we call you, we call you soft. And that's just the long and short of it.
But that's not a good thing, and that actually
no, not at all. But that's just what it is.
That lends to a negative connotation in dating because men, I think, also can be impressionable for young boys because if they're looking at it and they're thinking being like Future and having 7 different baby mamas is the way to move, and ain't none of them married, as opposed to a Russell Wilson, then that's a problem. It creates division in terms of dating within the Black community. And we have to stop that. That is something that we should not be doing. And I feel like the men started that and perpetuate that more than women do.
I don't like that because
which part? You don't think they started it or they perpetuated it?
I don't know who started the war on that we sometimes have against one another, but men can't men do what women allow because men's objective is to have a woman. So I think women have to bear the responsibility of perpetuating the idea that Russell is a simp versus Russell being fly. If women were like, if you're not on some Russell Wilson, or if you're not moving like that, if women were firm in that, men would start cleaning their shit up.
Okay. If a woman said, we not fucking y'all until you pull your pants up, Black men be walking around with their pants to their damn neck.
You say that every week. It's so funny, but it is very much true.
So women are glamorizing future. Women are having baby. I mean, what is the list? 8, 9. You know what I mean? Women are still sleeping with him. It's just like women are showing that this is fly. And to y'all's point, very, very attractive women. So that, and other women are seeing that, like, oh, she's dealing with a future. You know what I mean? So I actually think women bear, if we're comparing, women probably bear a little bit more of the responsibility, in my opinion.
Talk about it.
A lot.
Yeah.
As far as men's behaviors, in my opinion.
So Bella, hold on. Bella said it's about accepting yourself. If you love your BBL and your fake lashes, then you're happy and it'll show. That makes absolutely no sense to me. If you've already accepted yourself, how do you accept yourself and have a BBL and fake lashes?
Because maybe you just wanted to have a BBL and fake lashes. I don't know. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. I don't necessarily feel that way, but I'm trying to understand. Like, I just, it's hard for me to believe that someone or that everybody who does that would be going through such extremes to do that because they're not, you know what I'm saying? They're like not happy with themselves, or they want this type of attention from men or a certain type of men or whatever the case may be. Maybe they just want to get a boob job because their boobs are small and they want them to be bigger. Maybe, maybe they just want to take some fat off their stomach and put it in their butt because they like the way they look with a bigger butt and a smaller waist. I don't know. Like, I just don't like.
Right. So isn't that kind of goes against you actually loving yourself? I'm trying to figure that out.
You can love yourself and do things to enhance your beauty. Women do it all the time. I love myself. I know that I'm beautiful, but I'll still throw on makeup sometimes and put a weave in my hair if I want to look more glamorous or whatever the case may be.
That's not the same. Wearing makeup and altering your body are two different things.
Well, you alter your body. You go to the gym. You watch what you eat to alter your body. Like, the BBL is just a quicker way of doing so. I'm sorry, my BBL girl facts right now.
I know you're talking
that's a really good argument, though. Actually,
it's not. Let me tell you why. When you exercise and when you eat right, you're actually taking your body to its natural state.
That may be true, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the mindset behind doing that. I don't necessarily. I'm not necessarily.
That's the exact reason why you do that. You want to be healthy.
I don't agree with that.
Eat right to be healthy. That's a good thing.
I'm not saying it is a great thing, and I think that is reasons you should work out and eat healthy. But that is not the reasons that everyone works out and eats healthy. Some people do it for the vanity of it. Let's just be real. Some people want to look a certain way, especially women, because they know, like, for one, it gives you that confidence. It's a confidence booster when you know you look good as a woman. You're confident. 2, yeah, you are going to get, there are privileges. They're pretty privileges. We all know that. You're going to get certain privileges as an attractive woman, as a woman in shape and whatnot. And so women, I think those things are important. They like those things. They like looking good and feeling like they're, they work hard and they can show off their hard work and it looks good to them, not necessarily because they're unhappy when they were, 10 pounds heavier or whatever the case may be.
All right.
In my opinion.
So who's the next guy on the list? So, because Russell Wilson is not a simp.
I also listed Michael B. Jordan.
No.
No, he's not a simper. No, he is not.
No, he's not a simp. He just misstepped with getting with old girl who's for them streets.
Why do you say that? How did that lend itself to his simp reputation? Was he considered a simp before then?
Nah, he was a simp after the fact because he was loving on this chick that was for the streets, and that's why he got called a simp.
Why didn't Future and Diddy and all the rest of them get called simps when they was loving on her? Trey Songz.
So if you compare Diddy to Jordan, now this is pre Diddy getting humped and fucking
pre Diddy gate.
That Diddy, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying, I don't know what to call it. It's a lot. It's a hot.
So mess. That Diddy is, you know what I mean, is just had from a swag standpoint and like he's always been with the shits. So you're not gonna be able to say, "Oh, Diddy's just." I mean, now I can't. You know what? Bad example. Who's the other person you said?
Well, no, let me. I have a point real quick. Last
Future,
Go
year,
ahead,
Trey
jump in.
Songz.
wait. So
You
back to
and
Michael
your
B.
girl.
Jordan. Last year, there was an issue. I don't know if y'all know about. It was big in Atlanta, but I don't know if it was big everywhere else. So last year, in the red carpet, he got called out by one of the DJ personalities out here in Atlanta. She does. I think her name is L'Oreal. She does a show with Tigger, Big Tigger out here, and apparently she went to high school with Michael B. Jordan, and I think she was trying to interview him. And when he went up to interview him, he remembered who she was because back in high school, she used to call him corny because he used to
Yup,
try to talk to all her friends, and they used to
yup. I
think he was a
remember.
simp. They thought he was a straight up simp. So he kind of carried her. He carried her. So she went to interview and put the mic up, and he goes, and she's like, "Yeah, remember we went to school together?" And he's like, "Yeah, I remember you used to." He kind of brought it up in a slide tip and walked off. And it went viral for like a hot second out here,
I
especially
remember
because
that.
he's
I
a big
remember
time
that video.
personality in Atlanta. But he brought it up like, yeah, I remember you from high school. You called me corny. And she goes, no, I didn't. And he brought up, yeah, you did.
But she did though.
And then she cleaned it up that afternoon in Atlanta, of course, talk on the radio saying that back in high school, he was a simp. Everyone knew that Michael B. Jordan was like this wannabe actor, wannabe famous, and he was super corny. This is her words. Corny was her word. And she just was like, she never knew he was going to blow up. But he was one of
Which
those
is
guys
funny to
that
me
like,
because I don't know when that was because you know he was on The Wire, right?
yeah, I remember that. But this was like last year. But you
No,
also
I know
remember,
that. What I'm saying is that while he was in high school, he was on The Wire.
but she also brought that up, saying that he was still going to that high school even while he was on The Wire, and he was corny. Like he didn't like. She said that y'all can Google this, do your Googles, but she had said like even he was trying to like think that was going to help him get swag, but because most girls, especially in high school, can kind of see that you ain't got no real like swag to you. They kind of looked at him as like the guy who had the acting role on a famous show, but they still apparently still carried him in high school. Like, and that was Michael B. Jordan's thing with her was like, oh, you called me corny because he was trying to get in good with some of these parties and girls at that high school, even as he was in The Wire and he was getting carried. Like no one was feeling him.
So let me ask you guys this from a male perspective. Do you think that that was kind of like what his experience was growing up, that as he grew older and became, the Michael B. Jordan he is today, that there was some sort of revenge type of thought process when dealing with a Lori Harvey because she's like the it girl? Like it's kind of like back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot and I'm over here with the baddest. Like, do y'all think that was part of the appeal? Okay. You think he truly liked her?
I think
really
that's
liked
all
her.
the because he it appeared that he truly liked her and cared for her, and she's clearly not that she's not on that.
The streets was laughing at him and calling him a simp because they're like, you really like a chick that's for the streets.
Yeah.
And then I think the thing, from what I remember, and y'all correct me, I think I remember the reason they broke up is because he was trying to move forward on some marriage, and she was not feeling that for them. And I think she the advice that Steve gave her, and her mom was like, yeah, don't marry him or don't move that direction if you're not feeling him like that. And that's why I guess he might be considered a simp because he was trying to take some chick that she was. I don't know, man. I didn't think she was all that, but the fact that he was trying to move and wife her, that was the direction he was trying to go, and she didn't feel him like that.
I think the irony in that, especially within our community, is all the women that were calling him a simp would definitely take the opportunity to be with him if they could. And all the men that's calling him a simp would definitely, if they could get with Lori Harvey, would be doing the same thing. So there's the toxicness of it where we are guilty of, doing these things and having these similar experiences, but yet we judge other people for it. And I that's something that is like a negative thing. And it impacts dating because if you're going to say, oh, Michael B. Jordan is a simp, you don't want to deal with men like that, or you don't want to date men like that, but you'd rather prefer to date.
I personally think Michael B. Jordan's high value, but I think the fact that Diddy used her. All these other guys used her. They were recreational with Lori Harvey, except Michael B. Jordan. He was trying to wife her, and that's the difference. That's why he got the simp title. I don't think he's a simp personally, but I think the fact that people saw he got played. You know what I mean? There's always that girl in high school that's so that that everybody know you don't go there with her, bro. But you trying to go there with her, bro? Like that chick, bro? You crazy?
You
But you
know
know what I mean?
we could have been back in the day if the word simp was around a little more. You know who people low key call a simp, but it ain't talked about much. Michael Jordan, the basketball player.
Ooh.
How so? I'm not.
Because Juanita was the pass around chick, and all of his teammates told him, "Don't get with her."
Ooh.
How do you know that? Is this documented in some?
Right, you're not gonna bash.
I never heard that
Listen,
before.
listen,
Okay, like
listen.
Miss Juanita out of this. She got her 300 mil and went on about her business.
okay, quietly.
And why do you think that is?
Quietly
And
went
why
on
you
about her
think that
Okay,
business.
peacefully went on about her way.
Listen, they
We
told
got-
it. Well, why
no
do you
need
think
for
she got there? Them dudes had called that long time ago. They knew that was the game she was playing.
Damn.
Is that also I've heard
Well
that
played.
when men do that, it's because they are not used to getting attractive women.
Absolutely.
And so then when they get
You
one,
pay
they're
for it.
like super trying to take advantage of that. Well, I mean,
Man,
I don't.
it's a dude in DC, straight up. He got his first 8A contract. Corny looking dude, older dude. Got his first 8A contract. Next thing you know, I can tell you every chick that he dated because every chick, and he's married. Every chick that he dated, he gave her a Rolex.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I guess. So you felt like he's definitely like a trick, like he's simp.
It ain't tricking if you got it, huh?
I mean, that's debatable. I personally don't because I feel like
debate. You still tricking.
it's hard
It's not a
to.
debate.
What if it's just how is if I'm a man who can like you can buy me flowers as just like regular hardworking 9 to 5 guy, but this guy can fly me to Bali and get the flowers because that's what he can afford to do. They're both being nice guys and doing nice gestures. Why is it considered simping when they're just being nice?
Which one are you gonna go for?
Probably the Bali one.
And what's wrong? What's the problem?
Right. Like
I'm failing to see the issue.
Great choice. He's just simping.
My thing, I think it's a little. In my opinion, it's superficial. I think Cyndi Lauper said it the best. Cyndi Lauper said, "Girls just want to have fun," and not all simps, but most simps are not as fun as another guy. So you could go to Bali, but you know that this dude is a square. You know that you're not going to really have a great time other than just being at Bali, where you could just go to New Orleans with old boy and have a great time. He's funny as hell. He can dance. He can. He's got jokes. And at the end of the day, that's the point.
I want to go to Tulum. I want to go to Bali.
Yeah,
but what they gonna do in Bali? They're gonna step out on this guy. How many times you meet a girl at a destination? You're like, who you there with? They go, oh, I'm here with nobody, and you find out that they there with some simp trying to holler at you. You're like, damn.
The ultimate simp is the dude that goes to Miami, flies a chicken from Miami, gets mad that she won't sleep with him, and then tries to put her on blast on IG.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot.
My boy, message to everybody. You look like the sucker, not her.
I would have to agree with that because you look like the sucker when you try to put her on blast. Like now, flying her out and stuff. I mean, a lot of people have done that.
This girl won't have sex with me after I pay for her to fly out here. Nigga, you couldn't even buy the pussy.
Wow. Oh, I don't know. Moving along. How do you guys feel about the idea that?
Hold on, think about that for a second. How bad your self-esteem has to be?
But like, okay, so even if that is
You
the case,
paid for it, and she still.
okay, but even that is the case, though, I think I really want us to stop doing within our community is like talking down on people, no matter like what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like if he wants to do,
No. Because you know why? Dumb shit needs to be called out and be called dumb shit. Stop trying to put a woman on blast because she won't have sex with you. You look crazy.
I mean, dumb shit is relative. Some people might not. He obviously thought it was okay. Some people, not everyone's
He
gonna
thought it
think
was
that.
important.
He
okay.
did. He was trying to help another brother out. Like, don't fly her
Who
nowhere.
on here thinks it's okay? Who on the chat? Who on here thinking it is okay for you to put a woman on blast because she won't have sex with you?
No, I mean it's not okay. Like, I'm not saying
Right,
that.
and we need to say that out loud and stand on that. It's stupid. It's corny. You look like a simp, and it's killing the black community. It's
But
crazy.
we can't. I agree with that, but we cannot continue. We can't pick and choose what we want to call out, though. That's the thing that with
I'm
the black
not picking
community
and
that bothers me. We pick and choose what we want to call out.
Okay, so
And-
what I'm saying is that there's nothing on that caliber that we're saying, oh, this is okay though. Calling a woman out for not having sex with you after you done paid for it, who there's no argument there.
Okay.
What's the call out? Like, who is being called out? Like, you're calling me out because I wouldn't sleep with you? I don't like.
You never seen the videos?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
so,
I've seen like the one where it's like, oh, she wouldn't, like, I put her out, like making fun of, like, I seen one he like literally put her out the hotel room. But at the end of the day, I mean,
but that,
you're
putting all that on video.
Out?
Well, because you're trying to shame her. You're going say like Selena,
What are you shaming?
Good point.
I said she didn't fuck. What are you shaming?
That's my point. You're trying to shame her by putting her on video and telling, well, I flew her out here, fellas, and she didn't have sex with me. Can you believe that? She's crazy.
How is that shameful to her, though? I guess is what I'm missing.
I'm with you. It's not.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
You're just saying we need to call it out. We need to let people know.
Right.
That's what
I'm saying we need to call out that dumbass behavior by him.
Yeah.
Nigga, you just got rejected by a woman you paid for to come that you thought was gonna have sex with you. You paid for it. She wouldn't do it. And then you're gonna go on video to try to shame her. My boy, you look crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I mean, the crazy part, what's really crazy is the lack of simple communication. Because why are you buying plane tickets and you haven't discussed what the expectations are? Again, like, we getting off topic, and I'm not trying to get y'all off topic from the subject.
No,
but
this is what Sims do.
Like, basic that it seems like silly. If we calling anything out, like, grown people communicate. Girl, are you that desperate to go to Miami on another nigga's?
I think that's a good point, though.
That's a great point. But that's simp behavior. Simps don't know how to communicate because they're afraid of rejection.
And if anything, I feel like that's simp behavior causes problems in the dating world because it shuts down communication. You're trying to speak with your money. And when she hears that, she receives that a certain way. Now you're upset. But I mean, you communicate, you taught me that's your love language. That's how you show love. That's how you move. That's the only way you know how to communicate. So really it goes down back to basics to communicate, understand what the vibe is, but you're assuming the vibe is going to be lit because you're paying for everything. It doesn't.
But it's
work
kind
like
of
that,
to be honest, there's a bit of a mixed message with that because the world, I'm not saying all women because men too have quantified men as just being providers. So having a personality, a lot of guys think they can buy their way out of that. They can buy their way out of the integrity, the loyalty with money, with the black card.
Some can. Some can. Yeah, some can.
It's much higher than the average than men would like to admit.
It ain't flying nobody to Miami for the weekend.
Okay, like that ain't the number, bro. If you want to buy yourself out of integrity, you need to shoot for the stars.
Well, I mean, I would argue anybody married to Nick Cannon is probably one of them chicks. Anybody married to Nick Cannon is probably one of them chicks that got a kid with him.
Nick
Come on, bro.
catches strays here.
Yo,
Right.
I'm saying he ain't
Sorry,
showing up to
Nick.
nobody's soccer game. Let's put it out like that. But he'll pay for the soccer game. He ice cream for everybody, but he ain't gonna be there.
First of all, Nick be in all his baby mama's photo shoots.
Okay, he must jump around. Don't do
he be
this
in
like that.
all those holiday photo shoots. Like, what are you talking about? He be showing up for his baby mama and his kids.
Yo,
Don't do Nick like that.
I'm just saying, but think about that arrangement. If a man said to you, I can give you a nice house, I can take care of you, but I won't be there probably 70% of the time, and be cool with that, that lets a lot of men know that that's really all women want is a simp. Because I mean, my point is that my point is maybe not that Nick Cannon's a simp. You can qualify him if you argue, but the fact that his value added is just that. Like, you got a nice life, but he is not present. You got a bunch of presents, but he's not present. And you have you could argue that these good, high quality women that are cool with that. How was he? He's up to 15 now, right? 15? But like
15.
Something like that. Was he
15?
13? How many 13 baby mamas he got? He got like 13, 15. Look it up real quick. It's something outrageous. I promise you.
I don't think it's that many, but I don't know.
I think it's
maybe
15,
that many
13.
kids. He might have that many kids, but I don't
How
think
many baby mamas he got though?
I mean, he got like 6 or 7.
or 8.
I think. Yeah, he got like 6 or 7 or 8, maybe. But
Definitely.
not all the kids.
He got some baby mamas. I don't know if he got 13 baby mamas, but he got some baby mamas.
But that's like a new thing now. Even the country Wayne, they got so many baby. Oh, bruh, it's all over the place. NBA YoungBoy, what did he say the other day? NBA YoungBoy went viral for saying he's proud to not be a good father. He just shovels out money, and he don't see his kids. They asked him one time, when's the last time he saw his kids? He goes, huh? He said,
yeah, I mean, well, in his
working.
defense, he's extremely young and doesn't have any good people around him, obviously. So that's unfortunate for him. But let me ask you this. I'm going to pick on Jay because, Eddie, you're married. But you talk about simp culture and paying for it. So, Jay, let's talk. Who's the baddest thing to you ever? I get you in trouble, but Eddie's married, so I got to stay away from you.
No, it's all good.
Because I feel like as a man, if you had the money to get Beyonce, not saying Beyonce would just
Regina Hall
get with somebody for money purposes, but
Regina Hall.
So if you had the opportunity to get with Regina Hall by whatever impressive thing you could do, the more money, the more grand or impressive thing that you could.
I can already tell you what I would do, and she would fall for me right on the spot.
What? Let's hear it then. Let's hear it.
I would go to McDonald's to get her a large fry.
Oh wow! And
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I actually heard in an interview one time with her. She was like, "Yo, I like a lot of things, but if a man go gets me a large fry from McDonald's, I will just." And she wasn't playing.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a little bit different, but I just feel like a lot of men they talk negatively about simp culture, but again, if they had the opportunity to get with whoever they think is that girl that's just their dream girl, then they would walk that simp line also.
They put her here and not recognize she's still a woman.
But that's what most people are going to do, though, is what I'm saying. And they're going to take advantage of it.
What I'm saying is that guys certain types of guys are just going to be like, she's just another woman. Mm-hmm. I don't have to try to buy her. I need to appeal to her in a way that most men don't, because the assumption is that she may be a big star. She may just say, "Oh, I gotta buy her this, or I gotta." Nah, you don't have to do all that. She's still a woman.
Men don't know how to talk to the women they want, so they default to money.
Right, exactly.
But that's not her doing that. That's the man deciding. The man not being confident enough to say, "Oh, let me just talk to her and see what it is that she likes."
Agreed. Think about it. What woman doesn't want to laugh?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
Why are men acting like that's not what women value?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of men don't understand, yo, she's still a woman. At the
So
end of the
how
day,
can
there's some basic shit that she's gonna be like, oh, this nigga made me laugh. I can at least hang around him.
So how can we let all the simps out there know? Like, how can they, get that confidence together and be like, she's just a woman. I don't have to try to lead with my money. The universal love language. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think that a lot of women like to be, spoiled and like given gifts or whatever. Like, it's nice, but it doesn't mean that it has to be something that costs a lot of money or is like overly extravagant.
So let me keep it a buck, pun intended. There's nothing wrong with using your money, but be creative, right? If you want to, if she walks by and she saw something that she really, really wants, despite the cost, if you get it for her and it's something that she really, really wanted, okay, you actually took the time to really hear her out. Again, it's really a thought that counts. You paid attention to her, you listened to her, you did all the things to meet that one small need, and it may have cost a pretty penny, but it's really not about the price at that point. It's the fact that you actually listened and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for her.
So you're saying that's the better approach, whereas a simp would more than likely just like gift her
whatever,
like a shoe or a bag or something like that, assuming that
like
that would be
some
something
Jimmy
that
shoes,
she
but she
would
wouldn't even
like.
like Jimmy shoes.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I want to shift gears for a minute because so we're all in agreement that simp is used, like, it has kind of like a negative connotation. And sometimes it's used to insult men who demonstrate kindness and respect and vulnerability. We've kind of talked about that, where we, see how certain men are associated with being simps just because they are, by all accounts, kind and, openly, love their woman. But I want to key in on the word vulnerable, because I hear a lot of men saying now they want that space to be vulnerable. Like, they don't feel comfortable being vulnerable, like there's no space for that. But but when we, as men specifically, because you guys are the ones saying you don't have a space to be vulnerable, don't you think that when we kind of perpetuate simp culture, like as men, if we kind of help keep that thing going, that's like you're weak or that's a negative thing, then how are men going to be comfortable feeling vulnerable?
The vulnerability is not simp.
But I agree. I don't think it is either. But there is the connotation that vulnerability is weak and weak is simp. So where's the line drawn there?
It's just the brothers who are out here who understand what this thing really is, just have to be louder with the message. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just comes down to that. And women gotta back that up. Women have to stamp it. If I go out here and say, you know what I mean, vulnerability is not simp, the ladies gotta back it.
I agree. I definitely think that it starts with this. Let's take the heat off the men for a little bit. Do we think that there is a female equivalent of a simp? Selena, what do you think? I'll start with you.
That's a question for the men.
Have you ever heard that? I mean, I don't know. Could be, I guess. Is there? I saw the word.
I guess the equivalent would be a woman who provides, who lets her man drive her car while she's at work. That kind of thing.
Damn, how you gonna call me?
Maybe the equivalent.
When I was reading up on it, I was like, "Damn, I'm such a simp." But does it count if you in a relationship with the person? Like, is it like I'm trying to get you to want me by doing those type of things, as opposed to,
or like the age old what is it? Giving him the milk before he buys the cow or whatever. You know what I mean? Like treating him like a husband or a partner when he does not behave like a husband or a partner.
Now, see, now you're gonna make all the ladies mad with that, because most of us are guilty of that behavior.
But like, if I was if there's an equivalent, that's just kind of what would come to mind for me.
Yeah. What do
I
you
think,
guys think?
in my opinion, I think a simp also wants the same thing every man wants to, is to prove that they're a provider, that they're strong, that they can protect you. And a lot of times, there's a funny scene in one of the, forgive me for this. There's a funny scene in one of the Avenger movies where Superman loses his mom's house, and Batman has to buy the bank to get Superman's mom's house back. And it kind of is that it's such a funny scene because you got Superman, probably is literally the strongest man, fastest man, whatever man in the world, but he could not get his mama's house. Batman, who isn't a superhero, was able to get his mama's house. And I think that kind of shows the dynamic of what strength looks like on both ends. Because, the fact is that like a lot of women, they want a guy that can protect them. And in terms of vulnerability, if they get convinced that this guy can protect them, then most men can feel a little vulnerable knowing that she'll create a safer space for him to talk about his demons. But it has to be proven in the beginning that he's a strong man. He can't come off the rip on like, yeah, my things are happening. Like, bro, like, no way. Let me tell you, fifth grade. No, bro, stop it. I'll tell you a true story. I had a friend of mine, one of my close friends, I don't want to say her name, but she went on a date with this dude that she met online. And even online, the vibe was strong. They ended up going on a date, and they ended up dating for like, at the date, they said that they closed down the restaurant, like 2-3 hours. They had a couple drinks in them. And after the date, they started walking down. This is like over in Old Town, Alexandria. And he tripped over like a loose boardwalk or something and fell. And she called me that night. I said, yo, how'd the date go? And she said, nah, I'm done. I said, what happened? He fell. And that fall killed the date for her. Because to her, guess it looked like he wasn't strong. And she felt like he was goofy. She had this image of like this goofy man. Because he fell. Never mind. They closed down a restaurant for 3 hours. Never mind. He bought.
She didn't like him.
Yeah,
dinner,
and he was actually a good-looking guy. But the fact that she could not get the vision of him falling, like it just couldn't get out of her mind, and she was like, "Yeah, I can't call him back." And it kind of said a lot to me. I was like, "Ooh, this could have been a Seinfeld episode." You know what I mean? It was the fall. It was the fall. You know what I mean? Like. And it reminded me like women really check for strength, even on like to a level where you can't even trip in front of them in the beginning.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but I don't know. Like I don't think I would have definitely went to that extreme, but I think it would have been like I can see how she felt like he a little goofy.
Yeah, that
poor guy
was like hurt.
That poor guy is going to end up going the simp route.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, like it was sad. I was like, damn, just because he fell, and the whole time he has no idea that it was that, and I'm thinking the whole time, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But I get it, women need strength. That's why women don't check for dudes at a certain height. They're like, oh no, he might be all this, that, and the third, but he's too small. He's too, it looks, I ain't, like. He was huffing and puffing when we went down up the stairs. Like,
I'm more likely to say something like that. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. I heard him breathing funny. We were just roller skating. How you breathe funny when you roller skate, boo?
Oh my God.
Get your cardio up.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying, Jay? It's always like, we gotta break that seal of can we protect him? And once you break that seal, then
real shit.
Then we good money. Then we good money. But if we can't prove that we can protect them, we
or you don't look like you can.
But that's a really good point. That's probably hurting the dating world in our community. To be quite honest, like if we are looking at those kind of like very superficial things and saying, "Oh, this nigga's goofy. He tripped. Now I don't feel like he can protect me."
He was walking to Georgetown. He was sweating.
Like, then it's like, okay, well, and then that warrants me not giving someone a call back. Like that's a significant thing because now you're potentially missing out on an opportunity to really have something with someone that you let go because of something very silly. Like that.
You don't say.
That's ridiculous. Okay. Let's talk about simp culture okay, so I feel like, I have friends of all different races and backgrounds, and I don't believes that I've ever heard or been part of a conversation where they are talking about like simp culture. Maybe it's something else. Not to say that it doesn't exist, because I think all things exist in all communities. But when I think about like our specific community, why is it that we are so like, why is it that simp culture is such a thing in our community? Like I hear people say, oh, happy wife, happy life. But I don't think in our community that's like a thing that's highlighted or prioritized enough. It's like, because you have to admit that your wife is really running things. And I know that some men can admit that. Like, they're okay with saying that, look, my wife's the boss. But I haven't heard that from as many Black men as I've heard that from men of other cultures. Like, they happily admit that their wife's the boss.
And Eddie might be able to back me up on this. A Black man that's married to a Black woman, he can front all he wants to about who's running the household. He can come out and beat his chest to his homeboys and be like, yeah, you know I run things. Whenever I say go. I'm going to tell you something. We all know deep down, he is lying. We all know deep down, he's just doing it for the gram, whatever you want to call it. We know this. We just going to go ahead and make him feel good about that bullshit just because he needs to feel like a man in the moment, right? He needs to feel like a man because he has his balls in his purse 90% of the day. You know what I mean? Like, she just does. And so the 5 minutes he gets his balls back, he wants to feel like a man when he has them. And so we egg that on. We let that happen. You know what I'm saying? But we all know the deal. Eddie, am I lying?
Well, I mean, there's a different dynamic for a lot of people. I think for people of color, and I know you can understand, everybody understands this, because most Black men have been through more things. We've suffered more than most races, if that we can agree on that. That we're not going to let a woman just come in and run things, because we weren't born and we're not privileged to a lot of freedom already. So we don't. I never fell for that whole dynamic of woman coming here putting balls in her purse. Like I've seen that on TV, but that's not my house. At the end of the day,
not mine either.
Yeah, my wife does run things, but that's because I gave her a seal to do that, and I trust her to do that. I have a dumb joke that I tell people that I'm smarter than my wife because I married a woman smarter than me. And I think when she earned that from me, then when you come here, you would think, oh, she the CEO. But trust and believe, I'm the one that's calling shots. I'm the head coach. You might think that he the quarterback audible in every play, but I'm like, nah, bro, we're not running that. Timeout. But at the end of the day, it takes a lot of commitment and love and security to get to that level where you can let your quarterback call a little play and be like, all right, well, we won chips under you, so yeah, go ahead and call that if you see something different. But I'm still the coach.
President Obama was the president of the United States. I'll tell you something. You know who ran that White House?
Oh, yeah, Michelle.
Of course we do. Of course we. You know who got him to that White House? His wife.
That's the difference. I argue that. I'm sure she got him there, but Barack was running the White House. She helped get him there. He couldn't do it without her, but he was running the White House. No man in absolute power like that allows his woman to run anything. And no woman who really, no woman wants to be the one to run things. I argue that women who are like, oh, I got this, I want to be the boss.
You're taking it out of context.
She just hasn't met the man yet.
I agree with that 100%.
I think you're taking it a little too far. What we're saying is that a man, he can still be a man. But when it comes to that household and certain things, like at the end of the day, he can't move without her. She is going to stamp everything. There's no, let me just go ahead and do, nah, bro.
So what you're saying is he's running everything by her and getting her approval before he's making decisions based on whatever.
But I think that's what a good wife is. Someone
I agree.
I'm not saying that's good. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is that at no point in time can anybody ever convince me, especially with that one right there. I know for a fact, just because of the arena that I'm in and the work that I do, oh, shorty, she's not to be played with. She had to smack his hand a couple of times, like, nah, bruh, Nah. There's a couple of times there was a couple of pictures taken with him where it appeared like he was flirting, and she had that. Mm-hmm. You got 3 more minutes with old girl. Wipe that shit up.
I mean, I do think.
Like
your
she's
That-
not.
But I will say to your point, Jay. To your point, Jay. Every man.
It's not that you're taking it like she is running him. There is a mutual respect, but at the end of the day, like if she says nah, we're not doing that, then nah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Like, yo, even let's go there. Even with sex, I'm not gonna take it from my wife ever. I got papers on her, and I can't take it from her. I'm not going to take it from her. But some will say, even the Bible say, "Oh, I'm old this, boo boo. You need to go ahead and get that popping."
No, you're not.
But nah, that's crazy. But my point
If
is
she
that
says
I think every
no,
man.
that's what it is.
But if every man is honest with himself, they do want a woman that is powerful. There's something sexy as hell to have a powerful woman that you can, that you can look to and be like, wow, like if shit pops off right now, bro, we good. Like this woman got a shotgun. This woman know how to shoot. This know how to throw hands. She knows how to pay bills. She know how to set a meeting. She knows how to. If I go down, if I get hurt, another COVID happens again. She'll hold us down. I don't want no little small ass puny chick that's like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do?
The damsel in distress.
You know what I mean? I want a chick to be like, so here's my idea.
and I think there's something to be said about when men have that level of respect for a woman to where they are comfortable saying, I want to run this by my wife, or I want to get my wife's feedback, and, trusting that, even if there's some type of, not to say that, maybe the man might make the final decision or whatever the case may be, but just, I feel like there's a lot to be said for men who are even secure enough in themselves to trust and be comfortable with running important decisions about business. Like I know couples that are close to me who were, have businesses, and, they bounce each ideas off of each other. They have total respect for each other on the various highest of level in terms of, how they should move or what they should do in terms of those decisions that they're making, not just in their relationship, but in their business opportunities and ventures as well. And I think that that's important, and I think that's how it should be. But I think that as a man, you have to kind of have a little bit of an ego check to feel that way. Because some men can feel like, because I'm the man, it all ends with me. Like I feel like our dad was like that. I feel like our dad was like, I'm going to make at the end of the day, what I say goes in every situation. And I don't necessarily feel like that is always the best way to move.
He should be the man is going to be a leader, but if he's not getting input from his better half, then he probably married somebody that he probably didn't respect.
Right. I agree with that. You
know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not moving. If I make a move and my wife disagrees, and I do it anyway, that marriage is probably doomed in many different forms, or it's going to start decaying from the inside out. Because if I'm marrying somebody that has my best interest, has our best interest, right? She's the person who that's my 6. She sees my blind spots. If I can't be like, yo, babe, this is what I want to do. What do you think? Nah, you gotta look at this. You're not seeing this.
Yeah.
Then what you doing? What we doing here? I don't need another yes person. Like I can lead. I don't need somebody to always agree with me. I need somebody who can be like, yo, nah, this ain't what you want to do, bro.
Yeah.
And that starts with it's simple, actually. It's not easy, but it's simple. But that starts with a pure friendship. The same way we all got that homie that we can be like, yo, Jay, does my hair look all right? Yo, am I falling off? That would be like, yo, bro, you falling off. Like to tell you that. And you'd be like, yo, I'm gonna change. This shirt ain't working. Like you need that in your wife, and she needs that in her husband, because at the end of the day, it's the intentions of what you're talking about. I think the problem that I see with a lot of relationships and marriages is that and we said this a little bit one time before, but there's a lot of competitiveness. Sometimes somebody don't want to see somebody win. And there's always this fear that you might outgrow me, or he's looking better than me, or he's got another promotion, or she's got another promotion. She's already, man, and somebody's trying to hold somebody back because they don't want that conversation when they go to that party to be like, yo, Karen look amazing. You see how Eddie looking though? Ooh. Everybody hate that. Nobody want to be, you know what I mean? So then you don't even want to go to Jay's party. Hey, Karen, let's just stay in. Ugh. You know what I mean? And it's like, why? Why are you tripping? It's like,
Yeah.
go
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, I think at the end of the day, like, like Michelle Obama, she's the kind of woman that I saw her with great intentions with Barack. She might have looked a little bit forceful, but I think to your point earlier, y'all said, yeah, Barack would have never been president without a woman like that. If he would have had a small woman, like a tiny, puny woman, a basic bitch, he would have never been president. Probably been mayor, but that's it.
Mayor.
Not mayor.
Maybe mayor. I mean, my man had holes in his shoes when he was messing with Michelle. She was his come up. Oops. Don't forget, she was his boss at one point.
Big facts.
He was interning and then turning her out. But that's sidebar. He was interning but turning her out. Sidebar.
Come on, man. Come on. Let's show that shit.
And bringing it back to simp culture, I think that it takes a man to understand that you're not weak in a situation like that. Like, it doesn't make you weak that that you have a woman who is able to support, or who is able to, you can lean on for ideas, and that you trust in that regard. Because I think that's the problem. I think that, especially in our community, I think that anything that appears as a weakness with Black men, it's instantly like going in the other direction. Like, and that can be detrimental in dating and in their relationships, because it doesn't have to be all that. You kind of have to like reel that ego in check a little bit and be willing to be vulnerable, and not vulnerable and weak aren't the same thing, but I think that they are very easily associated with each other within our community. And I think that that's something that we have to really start to separate, even as a woman's perspective, because like I sometimes associate the two, like allowing myself to be vulnerable when it comes to my dating relationships. I do equate as being weak, because like I'm coming from a place of like, I always got to be like ready for war. Like if something pops off, like even within my relationship, which obviously isn't healthy, but I don't think that I'm the only one who has that kind of mindset and perspective, or who had that kind of mindset and perspective. So I think that we have to really dig deep and think about that in terms of just kind of keeping our egos in check and not associating vulnerability and weakness as the same thing, but keeping them separate. Okay. Let's talk about simp marketing with a little bit of time that we have left, because we haven't really even got into that. So, for example, like, how do you guys feel about OnlyFans? Because there's this, like, and that's just one example, but it's one that we all know. So there's the argument that it's simp marketing because the people who are having the OnlyFans pages, who are, selling whatever they're selling, products, videos, whatever, at, elevated prices, and taking advantage of, simp culture in that regard. And that's wrong. And then there's the argument that is like, no one's forcing these people to go spend their money, on OnlyFans. So what do you guys think about that? Like, is simp marketing wrong? Is there nothing wrong with it? I want to start with Selena on that one.
Is it wrong? No. I think everybody's responsible for their own actions. If you want to pay for content and what have you, that's your business. Do I think it hurts dating culture? Yes, because again, it lends itself to men not knowing how to approach, how to court, how to really get to know someone because they're not having to put in the effort. They can swipe their cards and spend their disposable income on pictures of women and flying them out or offering them things and getting them, in compromising positions versus having to do the work to get them there, I guess. So I think it hurts dating because it hurts men's, the effort they put into truly dating or truly, going after what they want. It makes it easy. So it's my opinion.
I agree with that. I like that. Eddie, what do you think?
Well, I saw an ad for an app just yesterday, actually. And the app, y'all probably know, I don't know the name of the app, but it's another dating app. It's brand new. And it's geared, I think it's for the simps. So in the ad, it showed a woman saying that, like, I don't even like the chit-chatting and the back and forth. I just want to get to the date. And in my head, all I heard was like, oh, she just want a foodie call. She want to use the guy. Because it goes down to that whole thing about how, remember that whole list they did last year about, oh, a man better not take me here, take me there. But so the dating app is literally about just going, you swipe to whatever left, right, or whatever it is on this app, and you just go straight to the date. Y'all go to dinner right after the date. There's no chatting. There's no getting to know you. And it just kind of reminded me of like, oh, this simps are going to love this shit.
But isn't that if you let someone out, you would talk on the date.
Call?
But you would probably talk before you go out on the date a little bit, right?
According to this app,
you set up the date.
The way they were marketing it, the girl goes, I don't like all the back and forth. I just want to get to the date. So the app is literally, you swipe, you like someone, and you go out.
What's that called? A foodie call?
Oh, yeah, foodie call. You're like, I just want to use somebody for a nice meal. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. And to me, it's like, going back to how you approach a real woman, in my opinion, you approach her. I know most women, with the exception of y'all, most women don't have real friends. And I know that a lot of times I approach myself as a friend. Like, let's laugh, let's talk about whatever. Let's have a good time. Let me not buy you a drink. I'm not gonna buy you something because you used to that. You see that coming a mile away. I'm gonna come to you like a real dude, like the friend you probably never had.
I just but the chatting to that point though, like I can think of times where like I've been leaving the club or something and just crossing paths with a guy and he'd be like, but I'm leaving. So he's like, can we exchange numbers? Let's go to dinner tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, and I've done that. You know what I mean? If he's attractive and I want to go to dinner, like I feel like a first date, do you have to chat before every first date? Like,
but look at it from the man's point of view, assuming that you expect him to pay for the date, right? I don't know. Yes?
Yeah, you asked me out. Yes, you're
okay, sure. So then that's like, depending on where y'all go, that's probably a cool, in DC, DMV, probably a cool 120. Cool 120. So for 120, he's finding out by the bread. I know I'm being conservative, my bad.
Yeah, very.
By the bread, before the app comes, he knows, you probably know you ain't feeling him, but you staying though. I mean, you order the martinis. But my point is, why it take 150 to figure out I don't like you, from the bread?
I don't know. What were people doing before apps? Like, isn't that's the risk you take?
We were just talking.
We were someone, you want to take me out. You budgeting? Like, you're pulling out your Excel sheet before you.
Oh, you mean what were we doing before Don Julio was $40 a wop? Oh, you mean that's what you mean?
Before
what
parking the car was $50.
The price of dating has gone up.
Okay.
Right?
So I'm dropping $200 just to see if you like me? Come on.
But it's at you can shrug your shoulders because you grew up in this shit. Most of us that remember there was a time when gas was 99 cents.
Yes.
Drinks were $5 and $8. Happy hour, you can get $2-3 drinks in some places. Like it didn't cost.
Don't make the first date dinner. Make it, I don't know, like make it a budget-friendly dinner if you're on a budget. You see what I'm saying? I mean, obviously date within your means, but this ideal that we have to sit and have hours-long conversations before you go on a date is like, that's crazy.
Listen, unless you're a millionaire, we're all on a budget out here. Because this shit out here,
I mean, I didn't even budget. There's nothing wrong with being on a budget. That wasn't. I mean, no offense.
But I'm just saying. What I'm saying is that
on a budget,
regardless, the point is this: regardless how much money you have, it's extremely expensive just to find out if I even like you enough to take you out.
But even deeper than that,
I don't know. I'm just asking, what were people doing before apps, or like
just
what's
talking.
so we exchange numbers. We lay up on the phone for
phone
2-3
boning.
days.
Yeah.
Phone boning.
If it's a vibe, we'll go out.
Yeah,
That's
we actually had conversation.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't
For me,
know
in my
you.
opinion,
Why do I want to lay up on the phone with you? Let's just go out. Like
So you get to know me.
Yeah. Why
we
would
can knock this out over one sit down. We don't need to be laid up on the phone every night. Who has time for that? I don't get it.
You're wasting time if you don't know if you feel safe with somebody.
I got time for one day, one happy hour, one lunch. Let's go have a drink. You know what I mean? Let's see if there's any interest here.
So you rather take the time to hopefully maybe get kidnapped than to figure out who this man is over the phone?
That's what I'm saying. At lunch,
you don't even know if you feel safe with this guy.
But I mean, just because you're talking to him also doesn't mean they could be telling you anything. That's another thing. So it's like, and then
stop, Carolyn. Don't try it. Stop it. You are old enough to know. Stop the bullshit. You are stop it.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What?
Yo, Ted Bundy was a good-looking dude.
He was.
Y'all need to stop acting like y'all act like before
Selena would have went out with Ted Bundy.
social media thing. We weren't spending hours on the phone talking. Y'all need to stop that shit.
Stop what?
Y'all need to stop and not act like, and maybe you're not old enough to know this, but there was a time when people talked on the phone to 1, 2, 3 o'clock. To sometimes we fall asleep talking on the phone.
Obviously, I'm done. Yes, I've done that. But I'm just saying, like, and if it goes that way, cool. But I also don't see the problem with, we meet, like, you're attractive. Like I said, you meet in passing, but you don't have time to stop and talk, whatever. Like, let's go out. Okay, you have time to get coffee tomorrow? That doesn't seem like a reach to me.
That's not crazy. But what we're saying is that you sound like you're totally against having phone conversations.
And that's where that app was created for people like her. That app was about.
Oh yeah, just like get to the point. Like let's get to the day and see if we vibing. Okay, I got you.
Well, I don't understand. How can you really get to know someone through the phone anyway? And really, what it seems like is like you're trying to evaluate me over the phone, and I don't get
so
that.
So what are we doing in person?
For me.
What are we doing in person? We're not evaluating in person?
Yeah, but we're getting straight to the point. Like you're trying to slow game and wait till Friday till your check hits, or I don't know. What are we doing?
I mean, it is easy for us to say because dating is expensive, and
that's how a simp is created.
Oftentimes we don't have to. Oftentimes we don't have to pay.
There's a distinct difference between generations.
I mean, that could be it too.
Difference between generations.
That could be it.
You talk on the phone and get to know the person. Even better, I got an even better one. While I'm talking to you on the phone and getting to know you, I can probably set up an even better date.
You might even want to go out with me for real.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Because
I wanted to go out with you when I gave you my number. Like,
yeah, but it was superficial. It was
but I want to do something. I want to do something special for you.
Yeah, to Jay's point, if you are having phone conversation and you're getting to know that person more, then you can be more strategic with your date. Like put a little bit more thought and personality into it, as opposed to just like, okay, we find each other attractive, we're gonna go on a date, and it's gonna be one of those default things like dinner or coffee or whatever, instead of like
I don't know you yet, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the way you look at it.
Like, can you think of when you said what?
What if you don't drink coffee? I don't.
They serve water, tea. Like, come on.
I'm not against it. What I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with a phone call or two.
I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I'm literally trying to think back to when I was saying, like, I feel like I immediately went out on dates. Like,
did you do that with your fiance?
Yeah.
Damn, that's dangerous. That's dangerous as hell.
That is.
Wow.
I mean, I guess we texted some back and forth, and we were not on the phone. We no.
Texting is y'all's phone calls. Texting is y'all's phone calls.
No, I mean we texted to coordinate, but then we got to know each other on our first date.
Also, Selena just don't like to talk on the phone like that. She's not one to lay on the phone, period. So that's something totally different, like just in general.
But you like,
you be rushing me off the phone.
Oh, you just don't like the phone.
She likes to get to the end game.
I'm a very direct person. Like, let's just. I'm a results driven person. I don't like to.
Oh, so you have no patience. See, that's what that is. Let's just get to the nitty-gritty.
No,
that's true.
She be rushing me off the phone.
Carolyn calls very textable things, and she'll text like, "Hey, this is neither here nor there. Hey, can you call me?" And then I'll call, and it'd be like, "That was definitely."
She'll be so frustrated. Oh my God! All right, we are at time, so I want to give our guests an opportunity for any parting words or last minute thoughts, and then Jay and I will wrap it up. So, ladies first, Sissy.
I don't know. I like what Jay said. This really stuck with me throughout the entire conversation. Men have to kind of put it out there that, the message that men don't have to trick, don't have to be simps, don't have to spend money. Bring back the time. Like, men know how to approach women, and then we got to back it up. Ladies, be nice. Give a man a chance. Don't make him feel like he has to spend if you are interested. And if you're not, keep it pushing.
Yeah, don't waste his time. That's good. Eddie, what you got?
This has been educational. It always is educational. Now I see, when I saw that commercial, now I see why, to your sister's point. Like, yeah, some people just want to skip to the dinner. I get it now. I remember watching that commercial going, damn, nobody want to, like, vet nobody? Nobody screening calls no more?
Not screening calls.
Old school, right?
But okay, I get it now. So Simps are winning. Simps are up.
Wow. They got their whole app now. That's cool. But are you done? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say a few things if you're done. Oh, okay. Well, I definitely want to first and foremost thank you guys for joining us tonight. We certainly appreciate you guys. We love when we have guests on the show. It's been very insightful. As you said, Eddie, always is. I always come away from these conversations having learned something that I can like tuck away that ends up, being relevant at some point in life. And then I'm very happy that I learned that, because now I know how to move forward in a positive way, or in a way that's going to kind of put me in the position to do what it is I'm trying to do. So I certainly appreciate you guys. Come back anytime. To everybody viewing, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We love you guys so much. Definitely want to encourage you guys to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is going to be our main platform here in the next few weeks. Jay's fighting me on this, but we're going to make it happen. So I need y'all to go and support on the YouTube channel so he won't be fussing at me every day. But yes, we appreciate you. We love you. We'll be back next Tuesday. Topic is the complexities of dating in the workplace. So we're going to get into workplace shenanigans and work wives and work husbands and all of the things. So that'll be fun. So come out next Tuesday and join us 8 p.m. Love you. And I'm going to pass it to Jay to close us out.
Listen, always a great time. Thank you for our folks that came and supported us on IG, which we won't be abandoning despite this one's. We just spreading our wings, but IG's our home. Thank you to our guests, the lady, the sis, the other tit.
Come on now, Jay.
Yeah, he out of pocket. He out of pocket always.
Now I got to file sexual harassment.
Like cook food. You know you family. You know I love you like cook food. Eddie, always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Our guests make the show so much more fun. We have a great time. At the end of the day, what we want to do is try to get rid of this beta male energy, and bring back, talking to women hearing us out, and just making that good love happen. Always remember this, whether we like it or not, black men, we need our black women, and black women, you need us black men. And I'm going to leave it with that. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Holla.
Nice.